what is very interesting is that this earthquake which just happened, earthquake tsunami which just happened in Indonesia, was published, the prophecy of it was published only 5 hours before it happened. It was published just this Thursday night. I believe it was the 22nd of September. We had prayer meeting at the church, and church was over, and the Lord moved on us that even though church is over and it was just a prayer night, we should still do that prophecy. And it was released that night about 11 p.m. Thursday night, this September the 27th, and by about 5 a.m. the following morning, our time, which is about 5 p.m. In Indonesia, that earthquake struck. It was prophesied only hours before of a major earthquake about to strike southeastern Asia. Not just that, there was a previous prophecy of earthquake for the actual country Indonesia. Not only that, only a couple of weeks ago was a prophecy that a major, very major earthquake was about to hit the earth. And it's interesting that God is so merciful that at least for a few hours before it happened, it was prophesied. And this is why we encourage everyone to, you've got to subscribe to a proven prophetic channel. You know, it's very wise. The Bible says in Proverbs 22 and verse 3, says, a prudent man forsaketh evil and hide himself, but those who are simple pass on and are punished. This is the 9th hour. Indonesia, 9 letters. It happened in September, 9 letters. In 2018, 18, 1 plus 8 equal 9. It happened during the 45th president, 4 plus 5 equal 9. The word president, 9 letters. And we had already prophesied at the end of December 2017 that 2018 is a 9th hour year. And there would be a lot of calamities and a lot of things would happen that would show that God is releasing judgments upon the earth. And folks, why does God judge, like this? Look at the Psalm 36 and verse 6, and God will tell you, God has to judge man. God has to appeal to the conscience of man, that he would not destroy himself. If God would not release judgments on the earth, man would just destroy like 1 billion with a B one time, So what God does is appeal to the conscience of man, allowing, similar to how, in most wise homes, the children are disciplined, disciplined by the parents, so that later on they are not put in jail by the police. So God will cause these measured judgments, so that it will prevent man from destroying himself with a reckless sexual sin, killing so many sexual diseases, and cigarettes killing 50 million people, and abortion, and all these things that kill so much more. All the things that have happened, all the calamities that have happened in the past 50 years have not killed 1 billion people yet. But yet still all these behaviors of man, man's evil indulgences have caused many millions to die. So God have to send major judgments to appeal to man's conscience, say, stop killing yourself. But many folks don't understand this, and they think it is bad that some are dying. That's a lot of darkness and ignorance. So I just want to encourage you, stay abreast with the prophetic. You got to stay abreast with the prophetic. When these things happen, you don't try to listen to folks who just try to comment and analyze. You want to hear from those who God prophesied these things through. The Bible says in Amos 3 and verse 7, he said, God will not allow these things to happen without he releases it to his servants, the prophets. I will tell you something which a lot of folks don't understand. The Bible says in the book of Revelation that God will send 2 witnesses in the time of tribulation, and God will allow them to announce and to decree. Really, he will allow them to decree calamities and to decree things. Why? Because the voice of God, the voice of his prophets actually prevent these things. The Bible talks about Jonah You remember Jonah? That Jonah went to Nineveh, and because Jonah went to Nineveh and warned Nineveh, then God did not have to judge Nineveh. Now God has to judge mankind to save mankind. Okay, so where the prophets are being hindered, watch me now, listen, where the prophets are being hindered, most folks don't know, but this is an automatic release of calamity. Once you see God's servants come under attack, under siege, persecuted, being put down, most folks don't know that this is an automatic release of calamities and troubles and turmoils upon the earth. Why? Because God uses his voice, his prophets, to preserve the earth. Look at Psalm chapter 36 verse 6, and it will tell a little more that God will use the voice of the prophets to preserve mankind. So people got to be very careful. You know, a prophet don't have to rise up and say, you know, let there be an earthquake and let there be flood, let there be a volcano. No, 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 no. Just his lament before God, just his cry before God, just his groaning and mourning before God is an automatic release of calamity upon the earth. See today where you know a lot of prophets are under attack, but the Bible says in Psalm 36 verse 16, he said they mock the messengers of God, and they misuse his words and despise his prophets until the wrath of God was released, where there is no remedy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a different time right now, and things are happening right now in New York, everything in one. New York, where we find the United Nations is meeting. The United Nations is meeting, and we have to understand the history of the United Nations, the connection to the Lucifer's Trust, to the Lucifer Trust, and New York being the 666 city. The word computer works out to 666, and Mark of Beast works out to 666.